Greetings, hello, and a very warm welcome to the channel. The sun is hiding and the magpie is casting. Coming to you guys right now with a live 1 vs 1 battle featuring a spawning in the south. It's going to be the the Overcommand West forces of Hoi, Chessmaster, brackets, Kanji. And spawning in the north, it's going to be the United States forces of Rowdy. Now, let me see. The date today is the 26th of February. That means that the patch for the game, which came out yesterday, I think, the 25th of February, is now live. So before I go ahead and talk about the players or the map or anything like that, I think we should talk about the patch, because this is pretty important and very relevant right now to the Company of Heroes 2 community. Basically, the patch broke everything. I only wish I was joking. Like, the number of game-breaking patches in the game right now is very, very, very high. There are a lot of things happening that should not be happening. Also, matchmaking is kind of broken. I was in the matchmaking live games lobby thing just now for the replays to choose a game to watch, and every single map was on Stalingrad. Pretty sure that's not working as intended, so that's why we find ourselves here on Stalingrad. Fantastic map, and very nice to cast it just every once in a while. Well, I don't know about fantastic map, but definitely, you know, decent map. There's also a ton of other bugs. For example, rear echelons, once they vet up, can actually be infinitely reinforced. So you can come out with like a 30 or 40-man squad of rear echelons and just start butchering everyone. You know, there's some crazy shizzle going on right now. I'm not going to run through it all, but you can find out on the forum, CoH2.org, if you're interested in finding out exactly which, pardon me, game-breaking bugs are out there right now. I'm also noticing, weirdly, the Axis forces appear to be blue on this map, and the Allied forces seem to be red, which is a touch unusual. I don't know if that's just... well, I don't know why that is. Anyway, but there were some intentional changes made, of course. It was a patch, and so I'm going to just spend the beginning of this game just talking about the changes that Relic have decided to make in the patch and how they're probably going to impact the game moving forwards. Because that's probably something that will interest the players, and it will certainly interest me and familiarize me with the changes. So let's have a look here. Of course, there were 2 new commanders added: Mobile Assault Regiment and the Advanced Emplacement Regiment, both, of course, for the United Kingdom forces. They do look very interesting, and we're going to have to see what they're like. The Mobile Assault Regiment guy, he gets flamethrowers. He gets some nice tricks like having commandos come out of ambient buildings. He gets this land mattress, indirect fire, rocket artillery piece, and he looks like a really cool commander. And then we've got the Advanced Emplacement Regiment, which it seems to me probably might be the less used one, although it's very hard to tell at this point. It just seems more specialized, and you know, if building emplacements isn't your shtick, then you know. He might not be that great, but he does have a lot of fantastic abilities to use in conjunction with the British emplacements. So, you know, depending on how powerful those abilities are, when it comes to the top levels of play, we may see it, we may not. Time will tell on that one. So, moving into the general updates, vehicles that get abandoned now automatically have an engine destroyed critical. What this means is that recrewing a... why aren't these storm pioneers coming in? Anyway, what this means is that when a vehicle gets abandoned, you will have to repair it to 100% to get that engine working again. This makes recovering abandoned vehicles much more difficult. And I think this is a change intended to impact those high levels of play where a vehicle becoming abandoned and then looted by one team or the other can often be the game-deciding moment, which, you know, seems wrong because it's essentially RNG dependent. So, whoa, these Volks Grenadiers now fighting from outside of cover. This ain't so hot against riflemen. But, yeah, yeah, I think this is a change looking at the top levels of play and intending to just reduce the amount that RNG and just random variants can affect games between 2 highly skilled players when it comes to the abandoned vehicles. So, interesting stuff there, I guess. There's been some changes to ambient buildings. Now grenades and lobbed objects, satchel charges, that kind of stuff, can now damage buildings, which sounds good. I don't know if that was broken in a previous patch, but whatever, it's back now. Vehicle pathing is going to be changed slightly. There's some different behaviors for when vehicles will decide to reverse, when they'll decide to spin on the spot, when they'll try to change facing, that kind of thing. Relic's still tuning that system to make it feel a bit more intuitive and, I don't know, just feel right, I guess. There's been some improvements to some intel bulletins. I won't go through them all specifically, but it looks like there's 3 for Wehrmacht, 1 for Russian, 1 for Overcommand, and 1 for USF. So these those bulletins have changed, so it might be worth checking out the patch notes if you're curious about those. And then now we get to the juicy stuff, the meat of the patch, the balance changes. So this is where we find out what Relic's thoughts are regarding how the game is actually playing, how they want it to be actually playing, and we get to see what their thinking is there. So as I just have a sip on my tea. English breakfast tea, the tea of choice for Magpie right now. So let's see. UK forces balance changes. The tactical support regiment artillery cover has been changed. Yes, that's right. The days of just infinitely wailing, well, nearly infinitely wailing engine damage and critical hitting shells onto your opponent's Tiger tanks is going to be coming to an end, and that can only be a good thing. It was basically the only commander we ever saw picked at the high levels of play, which tells you something's up. Engine damage critical on impact is removed. Turret jam critical is replaced with loader injured critical, which just doubles the reload time, rather than jamming the turret. So it will still heavily disrupt your opponent's tanks and allow you to have a good opportunity to move in with your Comets, your Fireflies, your Cromwells and get some work done. It just won't win the fight for you, and that to me sounds fair. Special Weapon Regiment, Concentrated Fire Operation. So that has had its number of shots. That's the very, very heavy artillery rounds that can one-hit any overcommand truck and things like that. Well, I mean, it will kill an overcommand truck in one use, not one hit. Anyway, the salvo has been reduced from 5 shots to 4 shots. I believe that will still destroy an overcommand truck in one salvo, though, because I think it only took 3 shells to destroy them before. But that will reduce its effectiveness, and I suppose it means if those shells scatter a bit, there's a chance the overcommand truck may well survive. Although, actually, I'm reading the notes here, and it says we're reducing the number of shots in the salvo by 1 to prevent the one-shot killing of overcommand bases in one click. So perhaps, actually, that will no longer be possible. That would be quite nice, actually. I have to say that ability did feel really cheesy against overcommand. The AEC Scout Car. So I'm just literally reading this for the first time myself as well. So just bear with me a second here, just sort of making sense of this. Okay, alright, so basically the main gun profile has changed, okay. It's also, okay, so they're changing its cost from 320 manpower 60 fuel to 280 manpower 70 fuel. I like that, that seems right to me, and based on the little notes above, they're going to be maintaining its performance but increasing its performance against infantry, so this is going to be interesting. The coaxial MG accuracy has gone up by about 50% by the looks of it. The coaxial accuracy, yeah, that's at long range. At medium range, it's gone up by, like, I don't know, 10%. The burst duration has increased, it's over doubled. That is a big increase, and the rate of fire increase has likewise. Sorry, the rate of fire has likewise increased. So basically, I think we're going to be seeing the machine gun on the AEC do a ton of damage to infantry, but the main gun, its profile has been reverted back to how it used to be. So it's going to be like not so hot against infantry on the main cannon. And the way this is going to make the AEC feel, it's going to kill infantry at a much more predictable pace because the machine gun is going to be doing all the work against infantry, and you're not going to get those cheesy squad wipes where the cannon kills 3 or 4 members of a squad and just wipes it in like, you know, instantly by fluke. That makes a lot of sense. That's going to make the unit much more fun to use at the high levels of play, much more fun to cast, and that all just sounds great to me. The Universal Carrier. They've removed the fuel cost. Wow. Oh god, that's really big. Wow, okay, well that changes up the early game rather a lot, because now you can get a Bren carrier without delaying your tech. That is amazing. So, moving on to the United States forces, the Calliope reduced the amounts of rockets fired from 24 to 18. So a reduction there by 25% in the amount of rockets fired. And it can no longer be decrewed, so you can no longer hop the American vehicle crew out of that one to artificially change your population cap and, you know, do all those shenanigans and whatnot. Wehrmacht forces here, I'm looking, it says here the Panzerwerfer is, pardon me, having its damage reduced slightly at long and medium range to prevent squad wipes. And the extent of this appears to be... okay, so at long range, its damage has literally been halved. At medium range, its damage has gone down by 20%. So that's a very big change to the Panzerwerfer. Not sure that was warranted, but in Relic we trust. The 222 Scout car has had an HP increase from 240 to 320. That's massive. That is actually massive. 25% more health on that unit is going to make it much more usable. Oh, I really like that because there's no doubt that the 222 is basically a good and usable unit, but needed some help, and that sounds really, really good. So yeah, no changes to the other factions. There we go. That's it. Very interesting. Very interesting. There's also been some map updates. You'll see some new maps in the rotation, and looks like even some new maps. Ha! There's a new map called Chateau de Love Nest. Brilliant. And then I'm just checking here, see if there's any additional changes. Not really. There we go. So there we go. That concludes the February 25th balance patch notes. Interesting roundup there. I think I'm really excited by the changes to the British forces. That's going to make them feel both better and less cheesy, which is a really hard thing to achieve through balancing. That's very nicely done, I think, by Relic. The changes to the AEC to make it a much more predictable but still equally devastating unit seems really good. Its cost changes, I agree with. The changes to the Universal Carrier, not sure how that's going to play out at all, but I very much look forward to playing it. I mean, what? No fuel cost on the Bren Carrier? Hell yeah, buddy. I mean, you know, let's not forget my favourite unit for the Axis forces is pretty much the Kubelwagen. You know, so that's... I'm liking the sounds of what is essentially going to be an armoured Kubelwagen for the Brits. Okay, it can't capture, but damn, that sounds fun to use. And I also, of course, like the changes to that artillery cover and the other stupid abilities that were clearly way too good. So, yeah, nice to see those toned down a bit, and I think we all agree that the Calliope did need toning down a bit, you know, so that all makes sense. So Relic there, I would say by and large delivering. That seems like a sensible patch to me. On the flip side, of course, they've broken the game, so until they fix the game again, not such a great patch, in fairness. But, you know, whatever, I'm sure they'll get around to that. I know there's a hot fix coming today. There'll probably be more fixes coming very, very soon, which will definitely be needed. So, truth be told, I haven't actually been paying much attention to this game, but what I have been seeing is CoH2 Master getting squad wiped quite a lot in circumstances where I wouldn't necessarily expect him to be getting squad wiped. So that probably explains, why his army is down at like 33 supply under 51. If you look at the top left and you look at the top right, the American forces considerably larger than those of our Axis player CoH2 Master. Though. Oh my god, the amount of flamethrowers being exchanged here is pretty epic. Whoa. Damn, that guy's going to get out of there. What on earth? There was like flames coming out of like these guys. I have no idea how that was working. You'll have to excuse me, guys. I'm you might have noticed by my voice, I am just a touch unwell today. It's nothing to write home about, but you know. Oh wow! Seems like CoH2 Master is going to choose this moment to GG, having seen enough. Looks like he was getting dominated pretty hard that game, I think. No, having said that, it's Rowdy who's disconnected. All right, well, you know, make of that what you will. I mean, he's definitely behind in the... Oh, no, because he's red. Oh, I have no idea, to be honest. I have no idea. I wasn't really following that game. Brilliant casting there. Brilliant casting. So anyway, yeah, as I said before, as soon as I finish this cast and upload the video, I'm going to be off to have an entire weekend of stagging with my mates. So I will not be casting ESL. I will not be doing any video uploads this weekend. Very sorry about that. You're just going to have to do without your regular hit of Magpie's smooth casting voice coming at you. But don't worry, of course, I'll be back next week. Expect to see some new videos popping up on Monday and continuing through the rest of the week. And of course, on Monday, I'll be casting the Top Notch Team League with my good friend, Festive Long Johns. That'll be a live show. Usually, we always start at 100 hours GMT. That's 8 o'clock GMT, London time. So yeah, you can come on along on Monday for that. That'll be awesome. And yeah, I guess for now, this is Magpie842 signing out.